flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, is there anything that you'd like to remove from the consent agenda today? Then we have public comment. Pete, you guys come on up.
Well, I certainly have a lot. Talk about how many easements you don't tell me.
I couldn't hear you, so go ahead.
I said, how many easements have you got on me down there?
Nothing's changed since the last time you were here.
Well, it was there then, it's still there. All the thing is, it's a little worse now because it filled up the pond.
Filled up with what?
The pond. Oh, it's in the pond. But it's here in the county, retention pond. But when they fill it up, it shows up, we got water coming down both sides. Now, from Larkspur. Where did it end up at? Cover's not big enough to handle it, so where are you going to go from? In my driveway, I've had to completely, lift it up, big part of it, down to the house. Like I said, you kind of washed me out of there. So far, it's showing up.
There's no change.
There's no change.
Don't see that it's going to change.
You don't see it, it's not. Well, we just have to see about that.
Okay.
So,
All right. Thanks for
you
coming.
do. I don't think you want to thank me for coming. I think you'd rather I stay on, which I have been. But,
Well, that's okay.
like you said, it's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere.
I'm sure
It's just gotten worse. And they cut that ditch right across the road from it. And put it right down, Meadowview to the pond. They put it on the right side of Meadowview, coming back in toward the cover. So, you just, like I said, you're trying to wash me off the corner. But I'm still there, and I'm still. But I do think that the state ought to take a look at this one. I really do. I think it's gone beyond what it's going to be down here. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, as I say, you could certainly call them.
I
Call the state, yeah.
Well, I can get the right man to call them. It doesn't matter. We'll call them. Get somebody to understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
He even looked down there for the pipe to lead out to the, down Meadowview there. He didn't find no pipe there. It ain't nothing but full water. Now they opened up them ditches on the other side, which he does what he's told to do. I know that. And he come down, him and his worker, and they checked it out. And they found just what I did, nothing. But I do get a creek. I've got a creek coming down both sides of me. And it's called a nuisance is what they did. Letting that creek the way they did around in that lot. And then I had nerve enough to ask me to give away in my lot only.
Right.
To get rid of that.
Okay.
And there's an easement right there, 30 feet easement. That wasn't cut. But there's a 50-foot easement comes from 73 to Larkspur. So nothing was done about that, we let it grow up. So that's what it's at.
Okay. All right.
I've
Take
got
care.
my piece then.
All right. Thanks, Pete.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fiscal officers, because
Just to let you know that budget season's about ready to start here pretty soon.
Excuse me again. I would like to have a copy of the meeting.
I'll send you another one, Pete, no worries.
I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, budget season, and then we're actually starting training on the new software that's going to be beneficial for that is
Time
proceeding.
again.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing else, sir.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Russ? Okay, moving on to new business administration, a recommendation of the insurance committee to select Blue Cross Blue Shield's health insurance proposal of 11.43% option.
So yeah, not the best renewal we've had lately. You can see the provided the trend renewals for the last 4 years in the meeting packet. Their actual renewal originally came in about 29%, so they hammered us pretty good this year, as we expected, because last year was kind of unexpectedly low as far as business go. They were on +3 with no shop. But the options that they gave us, the actual renewal of the current benefits package was just over 15. Option 2 was almost 11.5. And they gave us another option as well that involved raising the deductible to 45 and 7? 45?
45 and 9.
45 and 9, which was a 5% renewal. So the insurance committee got the options last week, discussed it with their colleagues, and came back with frankly, a split vote. Some folks wanted to try option 3, but the majority came back with option 2, with one vote for option 1, which is the actual thing. So we've discussed with Haran different funding options going forward. We may try a different funding option called captive next year. So we're working on that with our broker and trying to follow the recommendations to try to do a little bit better cost control going forward. So those are the options that are before the board and the recommendation of the insurance committee, and I'm more than glad to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions about this renewal? Okay, is there a motion to approve the renewal and direct Matt to initiate that?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Thank you.
Anything else, Matt?
Not this time.
Okay. Fire district, we have a recommendation to authorize the purchase of a new medic unit for the state bid cost of $360,000+ from report. Yes, sir.
This is to get on with our capital replacement schedule.
Couple
The
years
biggest-
out before.
The biggest change is the build time change from 10 months to 24 months. So we're
Yeah.
getting on the list as quickly as we can. So.
How is this gonna, how do you budget this to?
Well, there'll be an active there'll be a PO that goes out there against us, and so it won't get paid until we actually get delivery of it. But it'll be an unusual PO that'll carry for 2 years.
We'll have that money earmarked for 2 years.
Yes.
And there can't be any increases in that 2 years.
So it's just right now, because they're holding that price.
That price is going to be held. That's my understanding of it.
That's what I'm That's it, we're gonna get on, we're gonna need to eat the,
Yeah.
well,
Is there a motion to approve the purchase of this new medical unit from Fort Emergency Vehicles?
So moved.
second,
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have a recommendation to accept a generous donation of $1,000 from Enterprises TE Products Pipeline, and as they do every year.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to accept this donation?
so moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else at this time?
No, this time. Thank you.
Okay. Police Department, we have a recommendation to accept a generous donation to the Police Department also from Enterprise TE Pipeline Products.
Same thing they do every year. We're appreciative of it.
Yep. Is there a motion to approve and accept this donation?
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else, Chief, at this
No.
time? And then Road and Park, a recommendation to accept the bid from American Rock Salt for the purchase of 2,200 tons of salt for the 22-23 winter at $91.29 a ton. I can't say.
It's hard to.
That's right. Thank you.
yeah.
wow.
I mean, it's like throwing money on the road.
Maybe we should try that.
Stop traffic.
There's some pennies out there.
Make a change
It's
instead of saving it.
gotta be damn close to the same money.
Is there any chemical reaction between software and body?
Well, who the hell knew that beet juice would work? I mean, you never know.
Yeah. If you put it in.
Wow, and that's beautiful.
It's ridiculous.
And one point of clarification, just to read the rest of that motion.
Yeah.
It was a 2-year bid through SWAT 4G.
All that, yeah.
And
Automatically goes up to,
it's our recommendation to reject that second year. The only thing is, we are gonna be limited in our cooperative purchasing for next year. We're probably just gonna have to go with the county bid, whatever that ends up being, so you're really kind of playing the futures with fuel. We're hoping that diesel comes back down, and maybe that number goes down a little bit for the second year.
I'd rather gamble the way you're leaning towards too, than with the 99 personally, because I don't like them doing that to us.
They were cheaper this year.
They're cheaper than.
$2 cheaper.
$2.
County bid was.
Yeah.
Generally, in the last, 10 years, it's been higher, so.
Right.
And they went up almost 10% on the second year too, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Do you guys agree, we think we should?
I do, yeah, I agree. I think we take our chances.
Me too. Okay, so a motion to accept this bid for the 9129 on a 1-year basis and reject the 2-year bid.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I had the old building painted, the trim to match the new building a couple weeks ago.
I did notice that.
Looks good, don't
It
it?
does.
And then, we did get our road striped, Beacon Road from 48 to Franklin Township. I see you've seen that. And then North Red Line, 5 points got striped. We're also started our crack sealing program, so we're working on Red Line 5 points now, north side.
Okay. Good. Anything else? Planning and zoning, no show.
Paul was on vacation this week, so we didn't have anything on the agenda anyway, so.
Good deal. All right, anything else under new business? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. If I have anything that I'd like to talk about in the consent agenda, I guess not. So is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Staff updates.
I'll defer any comments to Chief Carroll about Officer Ned, and what he's facing today, so.
All right, we'll move over to Chief Carroll.
Eric's scheduled at 1:05 today to have surgery. His wife Lisa has put some stuff out there in the public domain, so I'm not giving away any secrets. He has air on the brain. They've had a tube in there trying to siphon that air off, and they were partially successful until they set him up and it reestablished itself in his head. So today at 1:05, and apparently this is a pretty uncommon, unique thing to deal with. And the guys had, I think, some difficulty dealing with it. At one point they were talking about flying a surgeon from Sweden. But at this point, they've got a brain surgeon and ear, nose, and throat surgeon that's going to operate today jointly to try to deal with finding the location of where that air is being sucked in at to deal with that. It's been complicated in the sense that he also has 2 large blood clots prior to his lungs. So when you give him blood thinner, they can't deal with the brain. They deal with the brain, they can't give him blood thinners. So it's been a teeter-totter trying to do that. So I sent some messages off to her this morning, wishing them well from everybody here by text. So that's usually the way we communicate with her. She doesn't like talking in front of Eric and the room. So at about 1:05 today, she had that surgery. So we pray for a good outcome.
As we all do.
Doesn't sound encouraging.
It's probably going to be pretty complicated, and I would imagine dangerous. So.
Okay, all right, anything else, Chief? Yes. Anybody have anything else under staff reports, staff updates? Okay, guess that's it. Brian, anything?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Gabbard? Yay. Mr. Wade?